Hi everyone, I'm Tristan, and today we're going to learn 7 tips for Toeic speaking part 3. Now these are questions 7, 8, and 9. So we're going to find ways to increase your score. Now let's get started. What do we need to know first? Well, in Toeic speaking part 3, they will give you a specific situation. For example, you have agreed to participate in a survey about shopping habits. And they will ask 3 questions. How often do you go grocery shopping? What are some items you often buy at the grocery store? Or tell me about a grocery store you often go to. Now, questions 7 and 8, you have 15 seconds of time to answer. Question 9, you have 30 seconds to answer. Now here are the tips. Tip 1, you should answer as quickly as possible. Pausing for a long time will hurt your score. Remember, for questions 1 and 2, you only have a 15-second period to answer. So you want to use as much of that time as possible. For question 9, you have 30 seconds. If you pause for a long time at the start, it will hurt your score. Tip 2, remember, you have no time to prepare. You will see the question on the screen and you will need to answer immediately. Tip 3, answer the question and give full replies. It's very important that you answer the question correctly, that it's logical. Here's an example. They ask, how often do you go grocery shopping? You answer, I buy clothes once a month. This does not answer the question because they asked you about grocery shopping. So really make sure you understand the question. Also, you want your answer to be 1 to 3 sentences. Do not give 1 or 2 word answers. For example, if they say, how often do you go grocery shopping? And you answer, weekly. That is too short. You want to show off your English. You want to show your vocabulary range. So make it longer. Here are some better examples. How often do you go grocery shopping? I go grocery shopping about once a week, but sometimes I go more if I'm having friends for dinner or lunch. All right, this is a much better answer. Why? Well, you have adverbs. You say about and sometimes. You have a conditional. You're using if. And it answers the whole question. Okay, here's another example. How often do you go grocery shopping? To be honest, I rarely go grocery shopping, as my parents usually pick up groceries for the household. So I might go once every 2 months. This is very strong. Why? Well, you have a nice expression, to be honest. You use a phrasal verb, pick up. You have a longer sentence, you give more details. So these would be strong answers for questions 7 and 8. Tip 4, be specific with your vocabulary. Don't just use words like good, good, nice, nice, bad, good. Come on, you have a vocabulary range, use it. For example, instead of saying good prices, you could say inexpensive prices, reasonable prices. Instead of saying many things, you could say a wide range of items or an array of items, but you are showing off your vocabulary. Also, be specific. If you say the store is nice, what does that mean? It is not specific. But if you say the store is clean, the store is modern, the store is vibrant, you are giving more impressive vocabulary. Plus, you're being more specific. You want to be specific with your vocabulary. All right. So let's look at an example of a question 3 and what a good answer looks like. Remember, in question 3, you have 30 seconds. So here's the question. Describe a grocery store you most often go to. Well, I usually go to a grocery store called Nestor's. It isn't as large as other grocery stores, but it has a great vegetable section. When you enter, you can see a huge variety of produce at the front. As I said, it's somewhat small compared to major supermarkets, so the store feels quite tight and the aisles are very narrow. Sometimes you need to wait for other people to exit an aisle before you can enter. However, overall, I really enjoy shopping there. That is a good answer. It's giving details. It's using nice vocabulary. It's using different grammar, such as large as. So you're using comparative. You're using complex sentences. Now, some key vocab that came up here. The first is produce. When it says you can see a huge variety of produce at the front. Produce means fresh fruit and vegetables. Here's an example. I usually go to the market in town because it has the freshest produce. So it has the freshest fruit and vegetables. The next term that comes up that I think is important is aisle. Aisle. And the aisle is the lane or lanes you walk through in a store or on a bus or on an airplane. For example, if you're at the grocery store, you might say, "Excuse me, which aisle has cereal?" And they might say, "It's in aisle 14. Now notice the pronunciation, aisle, not ISIL. And the other term that we used is somewhat. Somewhat is an adverb that means kind of. So my friend is 182 centimeters. Is he tall? He's somewhat tall. He's kind of tall. So somewhat. Tip 5, don't sound like a robot. In your discussion, in your speaking, make sure you have intonation. Your voice goes up and down. You focus on key words. Also, do not try and speak too quickly. Speaking clearly is very important. So make sure you do not say, "I go grocery shopping weekly." Better, "I go grocery shopping weekly." So you have intonation. Tip 6. Practice and record yourself. Listen to yourself. Are you using different vocabulary? Think about what you can do to improve. So do practice questions and record. And finally, tip 7, the days before the test, speak in English as much as possible. Even if you ask your friend to go out for coffee and you say, "Can we just speak in English?" This will warm you up and get you thinking and prepared for this test. It's like warming up for a soccer game. So, as we've seen today, these are 7 tips for TOEIC Speaking Part 3. Please like, share, subscribe, and best of luck on the TOEIC test. Have a great day.